5 things that good managers do coming up. Welcome, I'm Jamie, the Workplace Wizard. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If it's your first time on this channel and you're like, well, what do you talk about? Anything that has to do with the workforce, whether you are currently employed, seeking employment, whatever your situation is, if you're a manager, if you're a leader, you need to subscribe to this channel. So again, thank you all so much. I have had the privilege in my professional career to have had really good managers. They were very active in my personal and professional development, and I think it's important to share this information with those who are aspiring to be being managers, and then also those who are currently managers and they're trying to figure out, well, what could I do to be better? So a common theme that I notice among all, let me correct this, I haven't just had a whole lot of jobs, right? To have had all of these different managers. Most of them have been moving up, or I have relocated. And part of what I do when I'm looking for a job, and this is something you probably need to write this down, you need to select good managers yourself. I think sometimes we put ourselves in situations, not all the time, but because you can't control your circumstances in every instance, but I had to get good at picking a good manager. Because you gotta think about it, you spend a whole lot of time at work, and I just don't have time to be frustrated and disengaged by a bad manager. So I kind of do a mini interview myself during an interview, figuring out things about the culture, what it's like to work there. That's important to me because sometimes people make more money and they go take a job, and because of a manager, they end up not wanting to stay. They end up hating the company. And there's an adage out there that says that people don't leave companies, people leave managers. So it's important to remember, it's critical that in your selection process that you think about the person you'll be working for. But anyways, I've had really good managers, and I want to share with you some of the things that they do that I think made them great managers. So the first thing I have listed here is that they ask their employees' opinions, right? Because many times there's something coming up and the employee is involved with the process. They want to know, well, what do you think? What are your suggestions? How should I approach this? Because they realize that the employee is going to be the person who's responsible for actually carrying it out. And there's a saying, and it's kind of old school. It says that the head can't go where the feet don't take it.
What you talking about?
Like, well, what does that mean? That means it does not matter who the CEO is, who the director is, who the manager is. It's the employees that make things happen because they're the ones, they are the wheels. They're the ones that get everything in motion. So, and because they're the ones who are responsible for taking the organization where it needs to go, their opinions matter. And sometimes some managers, they just simply hey, I'm the boss and you do what I tell you to do. Okay, maybe in emergency situations, but for the most part, it is so important that you ask your employees' opinions. And I have, with my previous managers, they always ask me, Jamie, what do you think about this? A second thing that these different managers did, in my opinion, that was very important and kind of humbling when you think about it, they were able to admit when they were wrong. Some people really struggle with admitting when they made a mistake, when they judged something before time, when they were probably biased. But I'm here to tell you that is a good sign of a good manager, because they're able to admit, like, you know what, that wasn't the best decision. And to be able to admit when you make a mistake does not show your employees that you don't know what you're doing. And believe you me, they respect you when you're able to admit that you made a mistake or maybe that you were wrong. The third thing that I noticed between all of these great managers that I have, they are very much concerned about their personal growth. They're in training themselves. Because you know, the workforce changes. We have a very diverse workforce now. We have like 4 or 5 generations employed simultaneously. We have more women and minorities coming into positions of power and leadership. And some people adjust, some people don't, whatever. But no matter what's going on, they try to get training to understand the trends, to understand the changes, and how they can adapt, and how they can be flexible to be the best manager. Because when you are in a management position, you have to always be learning. You have to always be engaged in trying to learn different perspectives, different methods, how to be fluid, how to be flexible, especially when you have a diverse workforce. Because you know, everyone's not the same, everyone doesn't function at the same level. So you have to be able to adapt to that. And good managers encourage training, they'll get you in training, and they take training themselves. Maybe because I'm a trainer, I'm a little biased about that, but good managers are always learning. Another thing, number fourth thing that I notice about good managers is that they're really good at problem solving and looking for solutions. They're not just going to point out what's wrong, right? They're going to figure out, well, what's wrong and how can we fix it? How can it be fixed? Because sometimes, you know, people are really good at just kind of picking stuff apart, but they're not good at putting things together. Good managers are very solution oriented. They're not just gonna tell you a problem, but they're also gonna offer ways to correct it. If you have a performance issue, you're not meeting expectations, they're not going to just wait until it's like 6 or 7 months down the line. They want to correct it now because they want to see you be successful. The last thing that I have, and this is very basic, right? Very common sense to me, and you probably all can relate this. Good managers, and I think this kind of is the icing on the cake. Good managers respect their employees. They talk to their employees in a respectful tone. They're aware of boundaries. They know what to say and what not to say. They know the timing is important. They're very in touch, they're very empathetic, right? They know how to relate to their employees. So they're not disrespectful. They don't speak in condescending tones. They don't make their employees feel stupid. They don't make their employees feel as though they're not valued, right? So those are the 5 things that I have. Now, I'm not saying it's just those 5, it's probably even more qualities or more things that great managers do. But that's a common theme that I noticed among the great managers that I had. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember, subscribe, share this video with your favorite manager, right? Let them know, like, hey, you exhibit all those things that the Workplace Wizard is talking about. Might give you a raise, I don't know. But anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in. Share this video, subscribe to this channel, like it, hit that notifications button so you can know when I'm uploading. Mostly it's gonna be on Sundays, all right? So you all have a great day, take care, see you next time.